Now, friends, we will move on with social ethics on public domain software versus proprietary software. Now, public domain software is a free and can be used without restrictions. The term public domain software is often used incorrectly to include freeware or free software. Public domain software is free and can be used without instructions, whereas proprietary software is somebody's own property, right? So this is the basic difference. Now let us read. Public domain software is free and can be used without restrictions. The term public domain software is used incorrectly to include freeware, free software that is nevertheless copyrighted. Public domain software is by its very nature outside the scope of copyright and licensing. On the contrary, there is proprietary software which is neither free nor available for public. There is a proper licensing authority for that. User has to buy the license in order to use it. Coming on to the privacy. In general, privacy means the protection of personal information given online while carrying out some online activities. Means you are filling some e-commerce form or some government form and your information is there, so it should be protected. Now, e-commerce especially, it is related to the company's policy on the user's data. Ethically, both buyer and seller must provide the correct information to each other pertaining to the transaction that is taking place. An e-commerce company must clearly state how it intends to use the customer's data collected this way. मीन्स हमारी जो ई कॉमर्स कंपनीज या बेसिकली इस टाइप की जो कंपनीज होती हैं बायर सेलर टाइप की, उनको बताना होता है कि वो जो डाटा कलेक्ट हुआ है हाउ दे आर गोइंग टू यूज देम. इट इज लीगल, और if it is not told, then the user can restrict to tell the information. As on many websites it is said that you can skip the step of giving your personal information. So what is privacy? Privacy is the protection of personal information given online. In e-commerce especially, it is related to a company's policies. Now, how to safeguard user privacy? To ensure that the user privacy should be safeguarded, the user has gone through the terms and conditions given on the site application. There is a column, I agree to terms and conditions, read terms and conditions. So this is it. If you will tick on that, it means you have read the terms and conditions. Now you have to give the personal information, or the company has used your personal information according to that. The merchant or seller must ensure that the user has gone through the terms and conditions given on the site application. The merchant must assure the user about the data safety by implementing both proper data safety and security measures, such as I told you, closed padlock HTTPS protocol. The user must go through the terms and conditions of the seller or merchant site before providing any sensitive kind of information. So to respect the policy, the merchant or the seller must clearly state about how the user data will be used in terms of conditions of its site. Now, what is online fraud? Yes, this is a very good topic for today to discuss. Fraud committed using internet is called online fraud. What is online fraud? Fraud committed using internet is called online fraud. Online fraud may occur in many forms, such as non-delivered goods, non-existent companies, stealing information, fraudulent payments. Means non-delivery of goods, you have paid for something and the goods are not delivered. Non-existent companies, like I have just made a fraud website of my company and the company does not really exist. So these come under frauds. Stealing information, personal information stealing, fraudulent payments. While the first two types of frauds can be connected by set up official bodies ensuring the validity of e-commerce companies are promised, now the last two types of frauds are more frightening because they are very dangerous. The examples of such frauds are credit card frauds, identity thefts. In credit card frauds, what they used to do, they used to store or steal the user information, credit card information, and then some payment frauds are carried out. Means they will pay using your credit card. The identity theft is also very scary. By stealing someone's identity, one can pose as he is his or her, but is not really. The measures to stop these frauds may include a monitoring official body that ensures the sanctity of e-commerce company, strong security mechanism by e-commerce websites and payment gateways, official guidelines and safeguards. Yes, friends. Now OTP one-time password is a very strong security, as it will come to the number which is registered with the bank, not with the other side. So this is very important. Now ensure safe sites while entering crucial information. You must take care of the thing that sometimes you have to need to provide crucial information to various websites, such as for loan details, personal details, for government information. For example, you might be applying online to register for an entrance exam through a legitimate site that asks for personal information. In that, what you have to do, you have to type the URL of the website in the address bar. Do not click on a link that takes to the website. Okay, ensure HTTPS and padlock sign in. So these things should be taken care. Now cybercrime, information theft, we have already discussed. Scams we have discussed. Okay, now next is computer forensics. Oh, computer is also having forensics. Yes. Digital forensics or computer forensics refers to the methods used for interpretation of computer media for digital evidence. It means computer forensics provides our legal system with a way to recover our data from electronic or digital devices. Now, computer forensics is a systematic process that interprets electronic data for use in court of law. The goal of the process is to preserve any evidence in the most original form while performing a structured investigation by collecting, identifying and validating the digital information. Important practices of computer forensics. Computer forensics combines the elements of law and computer science so to collect the digital evidence while ensuring the collection process has retained data integrity. That is, computer forensics follows the following practices: acquire the evidence without altering or damaging the original, authenticate that you recovered evidence, analyze the data without modifying it. Now, how data identification can take place? This is the process. First, data identification takes place, then project planning takes place, then the capturing of data is there, then data is processed, analyzed, displayed, and report is the generation. So these are the 7 steps through which computer forensic works. First, the data is identified. Yes, this data we have to investigate. Then this data is gone for project planning. Then after project planning, the data is gone for data capture, report regeneration, data display. Okay, now let us move further. Cyber Law and IT Act we have already studied. Okay, we have sorry for that, I have gone somewhere. Now we will be studying gender issues while teaching using computers. The subject computers introduced in primary classes in most of the schools. Yes, it has been taught from the very first grade. Computer science as a major subject get introduced only in high schools. Yes. While teaching computer, there are many gender specific issues that must be addressed. Gurvinder and Bela are computer science teachers at 2 different institutions. Both said that in the class of subject computer science, 60-70% are boys and rest are girls. So the trend says that more boys opt computer science rather than girls. So underrepresentation of girls is a major issue. There are certain issues. First is underrepresentation, that a particular gender is taking more and other is taking less. So there are many factors that contributed to the underrepresentation. First is preconceived notions. There are many preconceived notions that play a role. Notions like boys are better at technical things, girls are good at humanities. Girls must take up a career While raising a family, teaching is the best option for girls. So friends, we are teaching computers also. We are a teacher. So also in India, parents play an important role. Right now, lack of interest. During primitive years, children play often games on computer. Most games are boys-centric that increase their interest in computers. Also at home, boys get to play more on computers and smartphones rather than girls. Now, lack of motivation. Girls are pressurized to choose a career option which will give them work for work-life balance, for their home, for their towards their future. So girls are always told directly or indirectly in households that I have to play important family role. Lack of role models. Girls these days see less role models in the field of computer science or technology. TV, movies, advertisements, it is portrayed that in computer science are men's field. So if you see a woman scientist in a team, there are 10 other scientists who are males. So lack of encouragement in the class, as there are lesser number of girls in a class, the teachers for most work assignments end up choosing boys. Not girl-friendly work culture. It has been observed that when in schools most work partners are chosen, boys prefer boys over girls, and even if a girl and a boy made work partners, boy prefer to work actively and make girls silent observers. Boys are not comfortable in situations where they're not playing active roles. So even if girls are given separate computers to work upon, they are very shy on working actively. As per the study, the problems mentioned by the girls, they are insufficient access time, difficulty with maintenance, or insufficient peripheral available. Now, possible solutions are there should be programs and initiation programs so that girls can be made aware. The film and TV censor board should have a fair representation of female. Like I have watched a movie Mission Mangal in which girls play an important role. There are several girls who play for the satellite, who just make the mod of the satellite, and so also that is very encouraging. In practical rooms, girls should be encouraged more to do work on computer and also find solution by themselves. They should assertively speak to the lab attendant to get all the peripheral devices they want. They should be encouraged to celebrate small success in the lab. Okay, from big to small, all success they are celebrating. Disability issues by teaching and using computers, increased focus on inclusive education, and promoting access for students with disabilities and impairments in the field of technology have made today's classroom really diverse and inclusive. Now, in this specially abled students, there can be one or more disabilities. Locomotor means severe deformities, polio, leprosy, cerebral palsy, hearing and speech disabilities, cognitive impairment, vision impairment, right? Beside these, there are several other factors which in India are a major problem. Unavailability of teaching materials. Students with different disabilities need different types of teaching aids. For instance, you visually challenged students would want that there are screen readers that could read the digital content to them. Now, a lot of children, not all, with locomotor disabilities are both keyboard disabled and mouse disabled. Right? How they can use the virtual keyboards for writing computer programs. Lack of special need teachers. For different teachers of different types, in need special need teachers are also available. Disabled students get their needs addressed in the right manner. For example, for hearing impaired students, a teacher who is able to converse in sign language would be able to convey and explain the study material than traditional methods. There should be teachers who know what type of software or hardware tools can be used for differently abled students. For example, as specialized types of such as braille keyboards, monitors, printers, synthetic generators, software assistants such as Google. Now there are many types of software features also. Microsoft Narrator, Cortana, Ubuntu's Orca, Onboard. For Linux, it is BLinux. Host of accessibility features. Specialized editor for visually impaired students for typing programs. So there are many features in voice assistants available for visually impaired, or we can say differential